Let's try this a second time, everybody. Welcome back. Sorry for the delay. We are in Division E tonight with Wood League Express and Flint Tropics. I'm just going to get us right over to the draft phase right
My
off the bat. I
blades
am
are
terribly
yours.
sorry. I don't know what happened. All I did was reset my game and suddenly it started working. For some reason, my OBS would not pick up my hero's game file,
Oh, this is my
but
jam!
now it is. So we're back. We're
Production!
just doing a quick redraft real quick. You guys can see the compositions that are coming out from either side. They're just going to be auto-locking in their champions as we get through this. I do apologize for all that delay. Sometimes those technical difficulties, I don't know what happened. Like I said, I first time was trying to figure it out on the fly. Could not figure it out. Was trying all sorts
Here
of
we go
fixes.
again!
Finally got it figured out. We are in this game. We are ready to rock and roll. Look at these teams coming out here. We've got a Muradin, Mephisto, Falstad, Sonya, Lucio coming in for Flint Tropics here. And on the side of Wood League Express, we got a Nazebo, Chromie, Diva, Johanna, Brightwing. So we see a late game composition, really late game composition coming out of Wood League Express. They're not going to have the best early game that we typically want to see on a map like Full Sky where it can start to snowball. But that doesn't necessarily, if the team can play it well, it doesn't matter. You can still, as long as you get to that late game not too far behind or ahead, you're going to really do well. So let's get these teams introduced. On the red side for Wood League Express, we got Ice Queen sitting on the Chromie, Saralas sitting on the Brightwing, High Admiral sitting on that Nazebo, Novabot sitting on that Diva, and we've got Galahad sitting on the Johanna. On the side of Flint Tropics, the blue team, we've got Blood Beast sitting on the Lucio, we got Aesop sitting on the Mephisto, Soul Limit on the Falstad, Big Balla Teabag sitting on that Murd, and that is a name, and Caraskel sitting on the Sonya, setting up for the bot lane where we do see that solo lane. So we're going to see these two teams starting off here. Lucio already getting those stacks up off on the party mix there. We are going to see that Falstad go into that auto attack build. So he's going to start stacking up. He's going to not have the best damage in the early game, but eventually he will be able to pump out some damage there. Mephisto going to be able to shred these tanks in the late game, so I really like what's coming out of Flint Tropics for their early game draft. I'm not the biggest fan of Falstad on this map, but he can work with the right build and on certain with certain compositions. So we'll be able to see if this Falstad is able to do, he's going to be up being able to soak. He's going to be able to provide that quick split pressure, especially when the B and C objective come online in this mid-game area. But we do see the side of Flint Tropics. They are rotating down. Nope, they're going to go back to the mid lane. I thought they were going to potentially rotate down. We do see the 4-man for Wood League Express being the ones that are going to rotate here into the mid lane. And they're starting this double soak. We kind of see like a 3-1-3, a 1-3-1 coming out from the side of Flint Tropics, putting that Falstad solo in the top lane. So as long as he can clear these lanes fast, he will be able to die just a little bit of XP, but the kill pressure is on the side of Wood League Express. Thankfully, they don't, for the side of Flint Tropics, they don't have the earliest damage in the early game here. But we are going to see Mephisto clearing out a lot of this mid wave, and really no team is ready to pull the trigger yet. Both teams just kind of comfortable right now, rotating back and forth between the lanes. We do see the side of Wood League Express starting to go down, pick up their turret camp. Meanwhile, Flint Tropics is going to do the same. They're going to rotate down and get these camps, and like we talked about, getting these camps on timer is pretty important. They're a little delayed, usually around level 2s when you want to come pick up these camps, but they're getting it. 4's coming online. We're seeing a lot of these talents coming online for both teams. 4's being picked up by Flint Tropics as well. Now we'll see if these teams like to go back to the mid lane or go pick up their siege camps. The siege camps usually want to be picked up around that 230 mark. 220 is ideal, so we'll see if they go pick them up or if they elect to just continue to brawl here and do some A-ramming. We do see this top wave. Diva was able to push it in. Falstad was able to pick up all that experience, and Diva's going to go ahead and get herself started on this camp. She should be able to clear that by herself, no problem. Flint Tropics, they're going to rotate through this mid lane. Mephisto going in, getting some of that poke damage down, but not really able to commit to anything yet. It looks like the guns won't start blazing until this first objective comes online. Both teams pretty even, but we do see Flint Tropics not going and picking up this siege camp. They're not going to be able to get that pressure in the top lane, meaning this objective is probably going to start going over and favoring Wood League Express here, just because of the pressure they're going to have in this top lane. Sonya and Nazebo having a good time. Sonya should really be able to bully out this Nazebo. She is going for the Q build, which is going to be able to provide her a lot more damage on that single target. She should really have a good time against that Nazebo for a while there, especially since Nazebo's committing to that thing in the deep in the early game. He won't get those stacks up to do enough damage yet, but it will start to scale as this game goes on for those who are not super familiar with Nazeebo. The later the game goes, the happier Nazeebo gets. He gets more damage. It infinitely scales. His damage will continue to scale no matter how late the game goes. He just doesn't have the best early game potential. But he is rotating. He is here for this objective, sitting on about 37 stacks right now. You know, respectable. That's, you know, considering he's only solo farming, that's pretty good. If he was in the double lane, he'd be probably up in that 50, 60 range where we had expected Nazeebo to be at this point in the game. 7's coming online for both teams. Falstad picking up that boomerang at level 7. That's going to provide a lot of that burst damage since he doesn't have the biggest damage potential going with that auto attack build. But he's sitting pretty good with those 13 stacks on Seasoned Markman already. The side of Wood League Express, they're picking up this health camp. Maybe we'll see a fight over there. It's already been picked up by Wood League. D.Va is just providing that zoning, gonna pop out of the mech, provide that zoning ultimate there. Everybody's gonna have to run away. We do see the Mephisto taking a big brunt of the damage there. He wasn't able to get himself out with the shade. Johanna getting stunned out right under the tower, takes a couple shots and will go down, and does not drop the turret. So that's a free turret trade for the side of Flint Tropics Express. First blood going over to them, and a good pickup of that turret there. Meanwhile, the Lucio is going to be able to just keep that D.Va slightly annoyed. They do have the positioning. Kirby's got some nice setups on the traps here, but not able to activate it to catch that fall stat out there. Kind of just needing to wait until their tank gets back online. And this objective is pretty much even Steven. Johanna will be back in time to contest this, but they don't have, they do have the healing on the Brightwing, so the Brightwing may be able to drop that and give their team a little bit of sustain in this fight, because the Mephisto is getting to the point where he's going to start shredding some tanks. Kind of see the frogs jumping out here. Johanna putting down the condemn. Mephisto just bleeding everybody in the backline, getting on all of them. Brightwing sitting fairly low. Overtime has started here. The Sonya getting grouped up by another condemn. Nazeebo is the first to fall. Mephisto trying to get away from those Chromie bleeds, but the pings are going down on the Sonya. Sonya does trade her life down. The Sands at times are providing a lot of zoning potential, keeping Chromie safe in that backline. Mephisto very low. Falstad trying to get himself out with the dash at 55 health, but he gets himself away. Frustrating from the side of Wood League Express. You know, 2 members getting away on the side of Flint Tropics with under 100% health. That's just unfortunate there. But, you know, this will be able to, Falstad is going to fly himself in. This will be able to be contested again. We are going to see one more brawl over this, but Chromie will be able to set up very nice for her team, getting those stands of time. Murden just walking himself right up to the Nazeebo, taking about half his health, gets condemned back into the rest of the team. Meanwhile, the remaining team of Flint Tropics just trying to push through those sands as best they can. Sonya getting on the Nazeebo, D.Va bomb going off, kills the Falstad. Falstad went down trying to kill the Nazeebo, didn't get him. These sands are doing work. Mephisto's just stuck in the sands, walking through it one way and then walking back through it another way. It doesn't look like he's going to go down, but this will be overtime ending. That is objective pickup from the side of Wood League Express. D.Va getting knocked out of the bomb there, trying to get herself away, but another pickup, snipe from the Nazeebo, able to finish off that kill on the Protector, and this is 2 kills going over for Wood League Express. Good start coming out from them, being able to pick up this entire objective, finish the channel off, and get some kills. Sonya sitting in the bot lane, gonna try and get some of that soak. Meanwhile, the Protector doing what it can to get these turrets down. You know, the main objective is getting this health fountain. They should have no problem picking this up with the Protector still being at half health. They may even be able to get some serious siege damage done onto this fort here. Murden getting pushed away by the Protector. Mephisto using that lead to try and get the Protector shredded down. Unfortunately, the keep won't be able to be finished off here. The Protector running away, D.Va leaving as well, and Sonya was able to get some pretty good experience while that Protector phase. She was double soaking completely uncontested there, and the D.Va didn't go to match. She elected to push with the 4-man, so the experience is pretty much even-steven, even though the kills and the objectives are in favor of the side of Wood League Express. Galahad, Lord of the Terrible Interwebs. Yeah, I think he had a little bit of internet issues when the game first started. Got back in, having no problems. You know, taking it out pretty well on the Johanna so far here. Do see the D.Va and the Sonya. They're just going to continue to brawl. We should see teams going back and starting to pick up their camps. Oh, we did have another drop from the Johanna there. We'll see if they get a pause coming in here. Looking like they're electing to just continue with an AI. The teams are the ones that are going to have to initiate the pause here. Not doing so far. Galahad is back. He's no longer an AI. He's back to human form. Meanwhile, Sonya picking up the camp on the other side there. And finally, this camp gets picked up. by the side of Flint Tropics. They did get that siege camp. The experience does help there. They're electing to try and get this health pack that is going to provide, again, a lot of healing potential, especially if the Merchant is able to get it in on his hands. He does sit there, but meanwhile, Chromie try to put some damage down. Doesn't have the Slowing Sands down yet, does get them down. The Slowing Sands Gargantuan on top of that would have been ideal. Nazebo put his Gargantuan down to go Chromie. I need my Sands. Unfortunately, Chromie got zoned off just a little bit and wasn't able to get the Sands down there, so they weren't able to get the crowd control down in time, and so everybody kind of just runs away. Flint Tropics coming away with an easy objective there, getting some more sustain for their team when this next objective fight comes online. Just checking in on some of these talents. Merton sitting at 20 stacks of 25. He's almost done. Nazebo sitting at his 75 Voodoo stack, so he's now in the 4-man. Diva did rotate down into the bot lane, so Nazebo is hoping to get his stacks going a little bit faster now that he's able to soak up 2 lanes. We do see Chromie sitting on 25 stacks for her Q, so she should have that done pretty much right around the time the second objective comes online, if she's able to poke out just a little bit more here. 13's online for both teams, 3-2 in favor of Wood League Express for the kills there. Got some bantering going on in Twitch chat, looking at giving Galahad a nice hard time for his internet connection. Those pesky interwebs cause so much problem sometimes for players, but seems to be doing okay now, getting back into things. What do we got? We got a turret advantage. Turret even from the Sonya. We got about 30 seconds on each camp. We'll see if one of the teams elects to go for the objective while the other team decides to go for camps, or if they decide to both go fight over this top objective. Right now favoring the side of Wood League Express, since they have that health camp taken out. They got the golden prize of getting this health camp picked out, and a lot of the fort as well. Meanwhile, their health camp is sitting pretty healthily right now. Healthily, that's a word. I'm making up words as we go through this thing. But it does look like both teams are electing to go fight over the objective here. Johanna disconnecting again. Galahad, the internet causing so many problems, getting pinged out by the Brightwing. Again, the team's not electing to pause here. Chromie gonna try and get these Q stack. Meanwhile, the objective is being picked up from the side of Flint Tropics. Hopefully Johanna turns back into human form. It's a switch back and forth between this AI and human form that is the next level plays. Pause please coming out. Gotta have the pause coming in. I'll just throw it out. Oh, and of course, as I say that, we get the we get both teams saying, "Oh wait, I think he's good again." So we're just hanging time, getting you guys over to the map screen. Galahad has to give him a chance. Yeah, poor Galahad, just dealing with internet issues here. It seems like these last 2 weeks have been nothing but internet issues going on. But hopefully we'll get that under control here. Waiting for the all clear. Maybe he's going to restart his router. I don't know. But what I've seen so far, both teams are pretty even in the experience. We do see Flint Tropics having a slight experience lead. But the team fight pressure is starting to ramp up on the side of Wood League Express. They are getting ready to cause some serious damage. And Nazebo is getting stacks. He's sitting at 102 as we speak right now when this pause is at. Chromie is still waiting on getting those Q's quests finished. All right, let me get everybody set. We're going 3, 2. Oh, he's in Missouri. That's gonna cause a little bit of problems there, but getting us back to the game. Everything is squared away. This is why I hate pausing, because I gotta change so many stuff. Both the teams are supposed to pause, but I had to be the one to pause. But we do see the jump going in there. Diva putting the bomb down, but Diva is taking a lot of damage herself. She may not be able to get into mech. Brightwing getting just barely away there. Chromie getting barely away there too. Nice just wombo coming out of the Sonya leap with the Mephisto damage stacked on top of it, and the False Dead being able to put down that boomerang. There's just a lot. Everybody on the side of Wood League Express was just kind of bundled up there, and the damage was just put down right on top of it. We got another disconnect from the Johanna player. Oh man, that's unfortunate. Oh nope, reconnected. Okay, we're back again. Holy moly. Yeah, it looks like there's from what people say, that, snow issues. If you're in the south, there's no stable internet right now. Texas, Missouri, Arkansas, all those places just kind of suffering right now with the weather going on this winter. But we do see the side of Flint Tropics picking up this Siege Protector and going to put down some serious hurt in the top lane. Usually this Protector does go into the bot lane, but they're electing to get some siege up. Johanna going in with the Falling Sword there. I don't know if that was actually supposed to be a pickup by the player or if the AI ended up picking that one as well, or if it was just a panic pick. I'm not entirely sure what the Falling Sword was for, because they don't really have anything to combo it with, as Blessed Shield is usually typically the more favorable. But Johanna sitting there, you know, going back to AI form, ended up going in, getting herself killed. Nova getting popped out there, Mephisto and Sonya just coming in, and they are starting to put down a ton of damage. Falstad going with that Hinterland Blast, but it doesn't connect. Chromie popping a nice stasis there. And that's still 3 kills to none in favor of Flint Tropics. It feels once the internet issues has started, the game has taken a dramatic turn. The good news, if you're a Wood League fan, is yeah, they do have the late game scaling potential. So as long as this game can be delayed, even with this rough mid game that they seem to have happened over the last 2 minutes, they do scale late or into the late game fairly well. So as long as they can get there, this Nazeebo will come online. He's up to 144 stacks. He's had struggled in the early game getting himself stacked, but now he is cooking, and he is almost up to 150 here, and will be able to provide just an immense amount of damage in the late game once we get to that level 20, assuming this poor Johanna can just stay connected. Meanwhile, on the side of Flint Tropics, they pick up the health camp. They're going to go and just kind of claim all camps as their own. Didn't go and invade the opposing team's camp. Meanwhile, Johanna is back into human form. This back and forth that's going on with this Johanna player, just wait till he gets to his final form. And it's all planned. It's part of the strategy here for Wood League Express. They're anticipating that this Johanna is just giving the side of Flint Tropics a false sense of security here, and they eventually will get themselves back into it. But we do see this Nazeebo continue to push out this mid lane due to the fact that, you know, we didn't have a Johanna and there was a lot of issues going on in that mid game. There's a lot of map pressure right now in favor, but nice condemn coming out from the Johanna. Good return. The Falling Sword being popped, but just popping right back down onto the Gargantuan there. Nazeebo did throw out that Gargantuan, so it will not be available for another minute and a half, roughly. Looking at into chat, can they bring in a fan from the crowd? They can get a sub if they have one available, but it's got to go through approval and all these other things, so we'll see what goes on. But right now, the Nazeebo getting caught in a little bit of rough position. He is caught out here. The leap does miss from the Sonya. Brightwing teleporting in, and Brightwing is here to the rescue. Sonya getting a nice stasis coming out there, but oh man, Brightwing, you're in a bad spot. Nice blink heal coming out. Johanna landing the condemn on 2 members. That Sands of Time was being placed right in a fantastic spot, the slowing sand, sorry, and they were able to get themselves out of a sticky situation there. So Nazeebo able to survive, D.Va going up, clearing out this top siege camp here, and it's pretty much coming back. You know, there's a level and a half level deficit on the side of Wood League Express, but Volskaya is just infamous for those, you know, level 20 versus level 18 when Objective C comes online. And that's pretty much the story that's being told in this game. Why let this game be any different? Objectives coming online. Once it comes online, it'll probably be that 20 versus 18. So we'll see the side of Wood League Express just go play the map, get some macro, try to soak up to get to 20s. Meanwhile, the side of Flint Tropics, they'll probably start to channel a little bit. If Wood League Express was looking for a fight, they got to pick it real soon, because these 20s are about to pop online for the side of Flint Tropics here, and they did just come online. We see the Mephisto going for Mimic, so we will be able to have shades like that in both spots, mimicking all of his abilities. The pick goes down onto the Nazeebo there. Falling Sword being popped, trying to group everybody up for the D.Va Bomb, able to land it. Sonya trapping her own team in the cage right in the middle of the D.Va Bomb. This is actually a really good fight here going on. The Sonya does go down. The Nazeebo able to get that kill. Unfortunately, Sonya jumped in with, you know, created the pit, but D.Va had already gotten her mech off. This fight's not over yet. They're continuing to hunt, and the Brightwing getting herself away with the blink heal. I think, you know, Wood League, go heal yourself up. You got a 5v4 for a good amount of time, even though you're down this talent tier here. They gotten themselves into a pretty good situation, being able to get that kill on Sonya. Sonya's still dead for 40 seconds, but yeah, Sonya putting everybody into pen, saying, you're stuck here with me, and D.Va's got her bomb like parked right next to the pen going, you trapped 3 of your own team in that pen, you're about to blow up. So good damage coming out of the Zebo and the D.Va in that team fight, able to get themselves, you know, a kill, which is a win for Woodley considering they were down 20s and in a 5v5 scenario. Objectives being picked up by both teams here, and Zebo just trying to finish off. I mean, he's already at 206. He's just waiting for level 20. He's got all the stacks he needs for that Voodoo Ritual at level 20. We're just waiting for level 20, and here they come online. Chromie going for that extra Q damage, going for the Piercing Sands, the Vile Infection, finished by the Nazebo as seen. He will start doing, just watch this Nazebo's damage scale through the roof. Let's check it out real quick. Nazebo's currently sitting right around 30,000 damage at 17 minutes. We'll see how that changes as this game progresses in the end game here. But the gauge is going down. Murden getting himself reloaded. The bomb goes down as well. Nice stasis being popped by the Chromie. Everybody in that bomb, but D.Va doesn't have her bomb this time. Brightwing and Nazebo both get traded out. Chromie's trying to poke from a distance, but that's 3 kills going down. D.Va still didn't have her back finish. Chromie did get some good damage with the piercing Qs there, but unfortunately, that's all she can do. She gives herself a time stop, but the damage from the Murden, he'll be able to just lock this Chromie down, and that is a full ace for the side of Flint Tropics there. They're not finishing off this channel, though, or at least Falstad did decide to leave to go get some soak. Murden's going to go down, but with everybody having these death timers, this fort is dead. This keep is for sure dead. I don't believe it's going to be able to end just because they lost the Sonya, and everybody hopefully will be back online by the time it comes to a core defense. But this keep, you can kiss this keep goodbye. This protector is going to be able to do a massive amount of damage. The good news is Nazebo is going to be the first one to pop up. He's the easiest one to do damage safely from in these team fights. Falstad rotating down to come in here to get some of the damage, looking for possibly trying to end the game here. Like I said, I don't believe they can finish it here. Murden is the only one in protector. Lucio hops in. This is actually really good. The healer jumping in is not what you want here. So Woodley Express, if they were looking for a fight, they want to find it while Lucio is in the protector. Try and push past the protector, pick a kill onto somebody else, but the protector backing off smartly so, recognizing they couldn't end the game there, and they're going to go into this mid and try and get another keep, looking for a second prize here. Meanwhile, if I was inside of Woodley, I'd be like, dude, Lucio's in the protector. Push past, let's get a pick if we can. Nazebo standing right on top of that laser beam, getting a little bit of damage there, and we'll be able to heal him up, no problem. Chromie gonna put down some poke from range, but pretty much these teams kind of just wait to see what happens. Mephisto's gonna try and put down as much damage as he can. Look at the damage, Brightwing, you're sitting right on top of the laser. She, instead of just taking a step off to the side, she blinks right back onto it and does go down. The protector is here. D.Va Bomb gonna go provide a lot of zoning pressure here. Murden, Lucio did jump himself out, which is pretty good there. Mephisto unfortunately missing the ultimate, and that will be a dead protector. So we're pretty much waiting. Chromie is going to be able to put just so much damage down here. D.Va is ready to get back in mech form. She's going to stay in BB D.Va form as long as she possibly can. Yeah, I mean, Woodley, they're getting punched around, but they're not out of it. And like I said, they've got the late game team comp. Nazebo is continuing to scale as this game goes. I like all the shout outs I see from the fans in the chat, giving their, cheering over to the side of Woodley Express, being like, hey, we're not done yet. I smell a comeback coming in this game. I absolutely hope that we get one of those because, man, with the internet issues and that delay in the mid game, unfortunately losing that mid game, if they can fight themselves back into this game, that would be awesome. One keep isn't the end of the world on Volskaya, especially the bottom one. You can do a pretty good defense over that bottom keep. D.Va should have no problem pushing that out. The next objective will be over this A objective in the mid lane, so they should be able to put up, as long as they don't lose another keep, a pretty good defense. But man, look at the stacks coming out of the Nazebo. I mean, 300 is within reach for sure. As long as this game continues to go out how I expect it to, Nazebo could be looking at some pretty serious stackage coming out here. But Mephisto, look at the damage. Look at Chromie's health. Oh, Chromie just able to sidestep it ever so slightly. But you got to be aware of this Mephisto. Like, this Mephisto's going to be able to put down so much damage with that Mimic and being able, late game Mephisto is a pretty big terror if your team is bundled up. You got to stay spread out when you're dealing with a Mephisto. Otherwise, his damage is just going to continually scale. Look at this. 4 members all grouped up. Mephisto going in. Unfortunately, he got crowd controlled through a lot of that, so he wasn't able to put as much damage down in that time. But, yeah. Yeah, Mazibo damage is, or sorry, Mephisto damage is going to come out huge. Mazibo going down, trying to get a little bit more farm while his team defends, waiting for the side of blue team, waiting for the call to get called up there and be able to do some damage. But Sonya going in, dropping the Johanna, but Johanna has the falling sword, able to get herself out of that pit, no problem. Meanwhile, Lucio taking a hefty amount of damage there, and we do see a little bit of a push coming out from the side of Wood League Express, looking like they're trying to bounce back, get into this game as best they can. This has been a pretty stalled out fight in this top lane for quite a while now. We've been here for almost 2 minutes, I want to say. Neither team able to necessarily pull the trigger, find that pick that they're looking for. Almost got one onto the Chromie. Brightwing's going to be able to get herself away with the blink. Nazebo's like, yay, more stacks for me. D.Va going to push out this mid lane. But yeah, it's pretty much coming down to who's going to be able to put down the damage. Chromie's going to put down some serious damage with the piercing Qs. Nazebo's going to be able to put down a lot of hurt as long as he can stay alive. That's the big thing, and that's what happened in that bottom fight. Is Nazebo just died right away, so he wasn't able to put out that sustained damage. The camp is being invaded here by Flint Tropics. They actually want to be very careful because they are all grouped up in tight space. Sonya popping in, gets the Brightwing caught. The Brightwing getting crowd control a lot, does blink herself away. D.Va does not have mech form there, but Lucio is able to get D.Va out. They trade false start away for the baby D.Va. Mephisto getting fairly low, and the Lucio, and Murden able to get himself away. The healing coming in from the Lucio, the level 16 trait coming in huge there, but nice kill coming out from Wood League Express, getting the kill onto the Falstad pretty much right away, and that's going to give them pretty much this entire objective. As long as they can keep themselves healthy, Chromie's going to be here. This will all get cleaned up by the corner. They don't have to go deal with that. We do see the side of Flint Tropics kind of hanging around, looking like they may want to try to pick a fight, maybe want to go and pick up this camp, and they are going to go try and get some of this healing camp picked up, to just get themselves waiting for the Falstad. Falstad will be able to fly in, so he'll come on in about 18 more seconds. That's going to put the percentage at around 80%. So as long as the team is coordinated with the Falstad and they can get on the point, they will be able to contest it. Unfortunately, all of Wood League Express stepped off there, so that delayed the channeling even longer. So there definitely is the potential to set up a contest over this objective. Chromie getting set up. That's not exactly where you want the sands of time. Okay, she took it back. Yeah, you want to put it in one of these choke points or on your own side just to peel back there. But Sonya jumping in with leap right away. Nazebo getting caught. The Falling Swords is going to go down. D.Va does not have her mech. She gets knocked out of her mech when it was almost fully charged, and Johanna is going to go down with the Nazebo there. Sonya coming in huge with the leap there, being able to pin that Nazebo down. Nazebo wasn't able to sustain, and again, Nazebo has so much late game damage if he survives into the late game. He just wasn't able to there, unfortunately. Was, good play by the Sonya, recognizing Nazebo out of position there, able to get the leap down perfectly onto the Nazebo. We'll see what Chromie and Brightwing can do here with this defense. D.Va's coming in with baby D.Va form to try and provide some defense. Chromie's pretty much looking for that Hail Mary Q, trying to get some serious burst out. She got all of her minions set up right there, ready to provide a burst if anybody steps forward. Looking for potentially the Falstad. That's the one that you kind of want to get picked off. But look at the Falstad stacks. I mean, the later the game goes, Falstad's also going to scale. Season of Markman sitting at 84 stacks. He's going to be able to put down some serious auto attack damage with that Falstad. Can I bring up the scoreboard? Yeah, I can bring up the stats for sure. Looking at the damage coming down through, Chromie sitting at 91,000 on her hero, damage from Zebo. He's at about 64. It would be a lot higher, but he's died a couple times early in this game. But Mephisto's sitting at 122. Look at this Mephisto damage coming out. That's an insane amount of Mephisto damage coming out in this game. But here's the Protector coming into the bot lane here. We will see the Mephisto trying to get as much damage for the Protector. It's pretty much got to be defend the Protector. I mean, look at the health on this Protector. It is just an insane amount of health in this late game Protector here, but they are doing a pretty good job burning through it. They got to zone everybody off. Sonya jumping in with that leap right onto the Chromie again. D.Va does have the bomb available this time, but this Protector is not getting tacked at all, and look at the damage it's able to put down. There's no way you're stopping this. This is going to be GG's. Game 1 is going to go over to Flint Tropics, and that will be it. GG's coming out from both teams here. Unfortunately, it was just, Would would the Express be able to do better if the Johanna wasn't disconnecting them end game? Probably. They had a pretty commanding lead for being an end game team comp. They had a pretty commanding lead, but Johanna just around that second objective, unfortunately, just started having that internet connection issues, and that unfortunately led to the team starting to stagger a little bit, and that kind of put them in a little bit of a hole that they had to climb out of. They did show some signs of life, which I'm hopeful going forward that they'll be able to turn it around, pick it up. They have a good team chemistry and everything like that. So I'm excited to see Wood League Express come back in this game to respond well. But look at the damage coming out of the Mephisto, and that's what happens when you group up against a Mephisto. You got to stay spread out because otherwise Mephisto's going to put down the hurt and put it down hard. But the healing coming out of the Lucio is another story to be told. 192,000. Lucio's healing just scales so much at that level 16. And yeah, he was able to do so much work on that Lucio in that late game heal. Didn't die at all, was in really good positioning. Really, the only fault that Flint Tropics had was in that fight where Sonya unfortunately pinned 3 of her team in with her, and Diva Bomb just took care of that team. But yeah, Diva unfortunately didn't have her mechs available in a lot of these late game team fights, which may have turned the tides a little bit with that extra damage. But yeah, GG's all around from both teams. I think Nazebo ended the game with like 280 stacks or something ridiculous like that. So let me get the scores updated for you all now that I've got everything working. Game 1 was won by the blue team, so I got to make sure I update that. And I'm waiting to hear where we're going to go for game number 2. So let me get you guys back over to the map screen so you can kind of see what's going over here so far. Just analyzing, I always like looking through chat, seeing what other people are throwing down. They had a pretty bad peel was coming down. Yeah, I mean, the problem with the peel, and again, I don't know if this happened or not. The Johanna with the disconnect issues may have gone. The AI may have picked up the falling sword. I don't think AIs pick up ultimates. Maybe it was just a panic pick when he came back in. But the blessed shield is what provides a lot of what would have provided so much more peel for the team. I don't know if it was just something that happened, maybe a misclick or something that happened with the connection issues going on, but they really didn't have much of a combination with the falling sword to really lock anybody down for the falling sword to be very effective. I mean, maybe they saw the Sonya leap and they're like, maybe I'll just falling sword into the leap. But yeah, the entire side of Flint Tropics did a good job staying spread out. And so the Johanna, yeah, if you needed to peel more for your team, getting that blessed shield. So when Sonya jumps in, you can provide that blessed shield and peel back. Murden jumps in as well. You can be able to peel back. So yeah, I don't know what was going on with that ultimate pickup there by the Johanna. Maybe it was an AI pickup, but ultimately, she Gal had worked with what he had, and we were able to continue to make the best of a bad situation. You can't control what's going on in the South right now, unfortunately, with all the crazy weather that's going on this winter, and it's definitely had an impact on a lot of these games in this week 1 and week 2. So we'll see if that has anything, if anything will change regarding that. I'm still waiting for these teams to see where we're gonna go in map number 2. Haven't gotten an invite yet. Haven't seen a lobby call. So, these teams might be thinking about their strats. We could possibly be seeing Wood League Express looking for possibly getting a sub in just because of the lag that's going on. But yeah, that was a pretty good back and forth full sky game. I was really impressed with the kill that they were able to pick up, being down 20 on 18 in a 5v5 situation, and Wood League Express somehow found a way to get a kill in that situation. Like that was awesome. So, kudos to that team. We'll see if they're able to pull that out, or not have as many internet issues in game number 2, and not let the AI choose bad ultimates for your team. Still waiting to see what these teams are gonna do with game number 2. Just gonna look through some of the talents here real quick, see if there's anything. I mean, Chromie's build is pretty standard for a Chromie. Going for the piercing sands at 20. He could have gone another another ultimate for sure. You could have gone for more spell damage or something, but the piercing sands. If your plan is playing around, grouping them up with the Johanna, maybe the falling swords made Chromie. Since Johanna got picked falling swords, trying to clump everybody up with the good dam. Maybe Chromie just wanted to be able to pierce through that, and we could see some of those fights when everybody got clumped together. Like Chromie was able to put down some serious damage with those piercing. Nazebo, pretty pretty standard as far as what he goes. He went for a little sustained build, but unfortunately, going with that blood ritual at level 4. But the when the Zebo's the first target called and picked, yeah, it especially with that leap coming out of the Sonya, it's pretty tough there. But Sonya going for that bully build, finishing off the leap, and the Sonya made some fantastic leaps. There are a couple leaps that were questionable, but towards the end of the game, definitely definitely was able to get a lot of damage there. What about the second ult to counter Mephisto Blinks? Oh, you're talking about the temporal loop. Yeah, I mean, possibility, but then there's always the potential that if Lucio recognized that they went temporal loop, then he could have just gone high five, and then you're not gonna that just negates the entirety of that ultimate by Chromie. Chromie literally doesn't have the ability to use that ultimate. So maybe the Chromie recognizing that, hey, that there's a Lucio on the other team with the potential of high five, wanting to go for the Sands of Time. And personally, I find Sands of Time when there's objective fights like this to just be so much more valuable for your team. Being able to put down that slow, it provides so much CC utility to the team. The Sonya going leap will be able to jump in, but if you can, position it so when Sonya jumps in, and you put the Sands of Time, down behind the Sonya, it really delays a lot of the follow up. Mephisto thankfully can jump in. Falstad has the E, so he can kind of get through it. But there were multiple times you could see it in the first objective fight when Chromie got her Sands coming on early. Like Flint Tropics tried to just walk through the objective, or sorry, through the Sands of Time, like walk all the way through. It took them forever to get through it, and then they were all at low health, and so they're like, "Crud, we got to walk all the way back." So they walk through it multiple times, and so there's a lot of value coming out, and really, just the Sands of Time could provide so much value. That's not to say necessarily, it can go either way. There's a lot of mind games. Different people pick different ultimates. I know personally for me, I like the slowing Sands on Chromie a lot more than the temporal loop. Argument could be made that, like, hey, once you saw Lucio pick up Sound Barrier, then you pick up temporal loop. But whether these players were paying attention to that or not, it's a lot of back and forth. But I'm not going to fault the Chromie for picking that ultimate. I could see the value, and we saw the value in a lot of these team fights. So it's always fun to second guess after after a game plays its out. I think the disconnect really was the connection issues was the biggest part of that game. That and the falling sword. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to go back and watch to see if the falling sword was picked while Galahad was DC'd or if he elected to go with the falling sword. But still waiting to see. I'm still haven't gotten told what the second map is that we're going to be going to here. Looking through some of this chat. They all had jumps and speed boosts, so Sands of Time kind of weak. I mean, it can be, but if you put it down, it can help. And again, oh, they're okay. So we are getting a sub coming in. Sorry, there was a small delay just due to the fact that it looks like they're going to be trying to get a sub coming in for Galahad because of the connection issues there. But I did get the invite this time to the lobby. We are. Make sure I joined the right lobby. There we go. Perfect. And it looks like first pick is going to go over to Wood League Express. So Flint Tropics, if Wood League Express wanted the first pick, so Flint Tropics is going to be the ones that will have first pick. Or picked Infernal Shrines here. So let me get that written down for you guys. So Flint Tropics, which is our blue team. They're the ones who picked Infernal Shrines. I like Infernal Shrines. Classic Heroes map. coming in here, but we do see. Oh no, Galahad is still in the lobby. I know you guys can't see it, but Galahad is in the lobby right now. We're potentially waiting to see if he will be the one that's getting subbed out. Or maybe they just elected they couldn't find a sub, and so Galahad's like, oh, guys, I'll tough through it in this game too. But we're waiting on one more person to join the lobby, not from Wood League Express. I'm definitely hyped up. I think Wood League Express played an excellent early game considering the draft that they had. So I think they're going to come out punching in this game too. Got the readies from the Wood League Express. Caster is ready. Flint is ready, getting readies across the board. Sorry for the little bit of delay between the games, but it looks like everything is good to go, and we will get going here into game number 2. As far as changing up the pick and bans going here, was there anything? I mean, maybe, Sonya does really well on this map, so maybe we might see a Sonya nod, getting the Sonya ban on the Infernal Shrines. The leap came out pretty big there in that game, so possibly Chromie being able to put down those sands again. Maybe the Mephisto. The Mephisto did just so much work that maybe they're not going to want to deal with the Mephisto. But we already see Wood League Express banning out the Sonya. They don't want to deal with it again. That leap was being able to put down a lot of playmaking ability there. So Sonya getting the ban. We do see a Murky ban. Maybe there's a Murky one-trick, well, not one-trick, but a Murky specialist on the side of Wood League Express. And so we won't see the little Murloc on Infernal Shrines. Kel'Thuzad, okay, so everybody's kind of changing up their bans here in game number 2. But Kel'Thuzad getting banned out by the side of Wood League Express, and Malfurion getting out. There are so many big meta heroes available. We got Chromie, we got Hogger, we've got Cassia, we've got Zul'jin. There are so many champions that didn't get the ban in this game too that I am really excited. Diva's still available. May's available. May really loves Infernal Shrine, so I'm excited to see where we decide to go. Gazlo is open, so Gazlo getting picked up first pick by the side of Wood League Express. Lucio being insta-locked in on the side of Flint Tropics. Maybe with the grab bomb, we will see the high five Lucio coming out instead of the sound barrier. I'm personally a fan of high five over sound barrier. And Lunara being that second champion, going for a lot of that mobility and a lot of that damage over time coming out of Lunara. Also able to provide a lot of vision for their team. So we're going to be able to see a lot more of the map, see some of the rotations coming through. But Brightwing Diablo being picked up. Galahad going with the Diablo. Oh, connection issues, being able to land the QE combo with the APOC on the Diablo. Let's see if he can do it. I'm excited. Hopefully he doesn't disconnect and they pick up Lightning Breath for him. But yeah, the Diablo play, I'm excited for this. Diablo does very well on this map. There's a lot of walls around these objective fights. There's a lot of walls around the camps, so we will see Diablo coming in strong in game number 2. Li Ming getting the ban out. Don't want to see, Li Ming, one of those champions that just put out so much damage in the right hands, being able to blink around, put some Qs and Ws down onto that entire combo, and then finish a champion off with the whatever they're able to do. I did call Lunara a champion. Sorry, a hero. Ew, League. Yes, sorry for the League of Legends reference there. I've done that a couple of times. It's much worse when I go back and play League with my group. Yeah, I definitely call the people the wrong names. Like, I'll call Shyvana Sylvanas. I'll call Udyr Uther. Like, I'll always reference Heroes of the Storm's characters, but I always call them champions. It's just, yeah, habit. But, all right, Murden and Orphea being picked up on the side of Flint Tropics here. Murden, again, being that, bully, that being able to provide a lot of that engage potential, jumping in with a Dwarf Toss. But Orphea going to follow up. Ooh, Nova. On Nova Bot. All right, how appropriate there. Nova Bot's playing Nova. Kind of that one, maybe he's a really good Nova player. I don't know. I haven't casted a Nova forever and so long, and Cassia being picked up second to last, that's just disrespectful to Cassia. Like, yeah, I mean, Cassia is great for damage. I'm glad she did see this map, but man, Cassia is so good. We do see Malthael kind of rounding out this competition. He won't get as much value into the Gazlo. You know, Gazlo will be able to bully Malthael around just a little bit. Um, and you know, Gazlo not being one of those high health offlaners, but I'm excited. Oh man, I'm so excited for this Nova game. We saw Nazebo game 1, which that was a pretty good map for Nazebo. But we're seeing a Nova game 2. Like, holy guacamole, I love Nova games. I'm excited to see what this Nova is going to be able to put down. She's going to have a pretty good time too. Like Murden will be able to, you know, zone off a little bit, but she's got pretty much free access to a lot of the squishy targets in the backline with a lot of the fog of war on this map. So I'm excited to see what Nova bought. So without further ado, let's get these teams introduced. On the red side, we've got Ice Queen sitting on the Cassia. We got Sarah Last sitting on the Brightwing. Galahad sitting on the Diablo. We got High Admiral sitting on the Gazlo, and we've got Novabot sitting on Nova. On the side of Flint Tropics, we've got Solimit sitting on the Lunara. We got Big Bad, I can't say it, Blood Beast sitting on the Lucio. They're all staying on top of each other. Aesop sitting on the Orphea. We got Karsakal sitting on the Malthael. And we got Big Bala T Bag on the Muradin. So we just see the Nova. She's going for the long shot. She's going to go for a little bit of extra damage on that and a little bit of extra range on that pinning shot to be able to provide some of the damage. Cassia going for those Q stacks, going to try and eat up as much as he can. Orphea just going to go for that typical Orphea build. A lot of build into the passive with the Orphea. Seems to be the typical meta build right now. You know, Orphea in the hands of a very skilled player is a very terrifying thing to see. She's able to just put down so much mobility and so much crowd control. Or, sorry, not crowd control. She's able to be such a highly mobile champion and put down a lot of burst damage that she can just do so much punishment to a team that gets out of position. Or groups up, for that matter. But we do see a little bit of a sprawl breaking out in the spot lane. Diablo flipping over the Lunara. Has to get himself away. Wasn't able to land the stun. And Brightwing will just be able to top him off. Meanwhile, we got a Gazlo and a Malthael just duking it out here in the top lane. Like I said, Gazlo, as long as his turrets stay alive, should be able to bully him out, but Malthael will be able to sustain a little bit better than the Gazlo. So ultimately it comes down to who's trading better and who's in control of the lane. Right now it looks like Malthael in this early game is having the upper hand in that one. We do see the camp being picked up by the side of Flint Tropics. The side of Wood League, they are responding as well on their own side and doing what they can to get as much of the camp picked up, but they're a little slow on this rotation here. Meanwhile, the side of Flint, Flint Tropics, they're able to get this camp entirely pushed out, and this is a lot of soak that will be missed by the side of Wood League. Brightwing is trying to get up there to get some of that stuff. Nova is able to scout this out. Unfortunately, was not able to pick off the Malthael there, and so Malthael will keep himself alive. Lucio is there to give him a little bit of a top off there, and we are pretty much getting an early camp picked up by the side of Flint Tropics, you know, not going for the timer. So this might actually be a good chance for Woodley to go up, clear this camp up, and get their own camp on a timer here in this top lane and be able to get some passive pressure, especially since his first objective will be over the bottom lane. Or at least get themselves in a favorable 5v4 situation over the objective while Malthael has to deal with camp pressure. So right now, experience pretty even Steven going on there. Gazlo now clearing out this top, you know, just going to try and do what he can. Nova sitting here looking like she wants to provide some sort of gank. Not necessarily pulling the trigger yet. Kind of wait until Gazlo gets a lot of these minions cleared, but now Nova's here. She is providing a lot of that damage. Is able to get Malthael down to about a third of his health. That's pretty good. That's pretty good damage. Malthael's going to be committed to clearing out a lot of these camps and having to use the fountain, so he won't have the fountain available. This first objective will be online. All 5 members from Wood League is rotating down, but Gazlo getting caught out a little bit here. Murden landing the stun. Orphea putting down the chomp, and Brightwing is able to keep him alive. No, unfortunately is not. Galahad trying to come in right at the end there to save, but unfortunately just a little too late, and that will be a nice first blood going over to Flint Tropics. So now, thankfully, the death timers are a little lower, but Malthael will be able to rotate down. So that slight advantage that Wood League Express had is now negated. Will not have the advantage as long anymore. And Gazlo's going to have to get in here to provide any sort. Actually, this is probably just going to be given up. The entire team is going to be clearing out this bot camp. You know, the Orphea Lunar combo is able to pick up just these camps so quickly here that this will be a Mortar Punisher being picked up by the side of Flint Tropics, and they will be able to push in this bot lane pretty significantly. Diablo will be able to jump himself over the wall, but Orphea will be able to poke over the wall pretty good, although she just did use most of her poke. So as long as Diablo can hop this guy over, or the Nova can hop it over with the clone, they should be able to clean this up, no problem. The wall's not going to get burnt down in time, so this Punisher will be lucky if he gets even both towers here. And it's going to go down. Diablo actually looking like he may want to go grab a little bit of fight. Likes to back off there. Gazlo going to go rotate through, try to get this soak, and pretty good defense coming out of Wood League. They did lose both their towers, so that second tower did eventually go down. But, you know, that's pretty standard for a first boss. First objective, not the most important thing in the world. If it's a frozen Punisher, it's a little more of a priority than if it was an arcane or a mortar Punisher, just because they can be melted so fast and don't provide a lot of that crowd control. But Flint Tropics going over, they're going to be picking up their objective camp yet again. Meanwhile, Wood League, they're getting another little bit of a late start on their camp as well. So Flint Tropics recognize this. Lunara is scouting this out. They see the two members. Maybe they're looking for possibly invading here. Keep our eyes up on that, but it looks like they're rotating up to the top. Gazlo is here to provide some of that wave clear, and this camp will get picked up by the side of Wood League Express. Pretty much completely uncontested there. So right now, both teams are going to just kind of passively soak up their way to level 10s. The next big fight should erupt around that level 10 unless one of the two teams is able to find some sort of pick. You know, the side of Flint Tropics, they're doing a great job rotating as the 4-man, not being picked them off themselves. Meanwhile, the side of Wood League, it seems like they're one step behind right now. They need to get themselves a pick or something to get themselves in the driver's seat rather than kind of just responding to everything that Flint Tropics, all the pressure that Flint Tropics has pushed down. Although they do have this one lonely minion that is going to continue to push in the mid lane. And Nova is just trying to commit to getting a gank on this Malthael. Looking like he's trying to get something going for his team with the Nova play there. But 10's now coming online for the side of Flint Tropics. We've got Leaping Strike being picked up by the Lunara. We've got the Avatar being picked up by the Muradin. Last Rites being picked up by the Malthael. Lucio and Orphea are both holding onto their ultimates, waiting maybe to see what 10's get picked up by the side of Wood League Express, and we do see that coming online. We got the triple tap coming in from the Nova there. We got the grab bomb with the APOC coming in. Blink heal coming out from the Brightwing. Nova coming in, trying to get some sort of gank. Didn't get it in time, but the triple tap going down. 1, 2, 3 shots off, and that will be... Oh, Malthael just getting... I thought he was still out, but he got himself away. Ooh, the grab bomb does not land onto anybody. Malthael does get killed by the APOC. Was backing there, and Diablo does land the APOC. Grab bomb is not available here in this fight, but that is a nice pick onto the Lucio from the Diablo, and so that is a 2-for-1 trade so far. Galahad does not have connection issues right now, able to get himself some of these combos. Orphea doing the chase, Lunara chasing as well, but that is a nice 2-for-1 pick there for the side of Wood League Express. You know, unfortunate that Malthael was backing and didn't see the APOC, so ended up taking the APOC to finish himself off, but he did such a good job getting around that wall to make sure that third triple tap hit the tower instead of hitting himself. And yeah, that was pretty close there. But we do see the camp being cleared out, and they do have their own camp available. Unfortunately, this top is a pretty easy spot to get the camp cleared with the clear, but we do expect to see fireworks starting to blow up. Unfortunately, cooldowns are still down for the most part on the side of Wood League Express, but we do see Diablo jumping on Lunara, landing the flip. The grab bomb goes down, but again, it doesn't land on anybody. Grab bomb is not successful there. Brightwing trying to get himself away. Galahad running on the Diablo. He will have his soul, so he will be able to come back online, but that is a nice 2-for-1 or 2-for-0 pickup for the side of Flint Tropics there. And the rest of Wood League, they got to go farm. Nova's going to go try to get some of this map pressure. Malthael is just going to respond and create a lot of this map pressure. The rest of the team is going to go pick up the remaining of this Arcane Punisher that will be coming online here. The side of Wood League, they're going to go pick up their camp. Kind of a consolation prize here. Get it and be able to get this experience. Deny from the other team. Nova going to go start doing some camps there. And Gazlo's going to push the mid lane, so they only have 3 members for the defense here. Diablo will be able to take the initial jump. They do have the minions there to provide some damage, but I don't believe this fort's going to be able to defend. They need to poke safely from it. They really don't have the poke. That is one thing that they are missing in their composition is a lot of that poke. But we do see Nova go over here. Gasol is rotating in. The APOC going down. Malthael is stunned out. The triple tap. 1, 2. That is going to be... Ooh, grab bomb drop for good measure there. They really, really wanted that camp. There was no way they were giving that up. They're committing everything to getting that camp. Meanwhile, in the top lane, this Punisher is continuing to push, should hop himself over onto the Diablo, and the rest of the team should have no problem picking up. Novabot is here on the Nova to be able to clear everything out. This will be a nice, a nice return coming out of Wood League Express, being able to get all 3 camps and being able to get a kill on the Malthael. So they'll get a little bit of pressure going here. And getting a good defense. They lost that first fort for it, but they should be able to, as 5, be able to rotate and maybe start providing a little bit of map pressure for themselves. See, I mean, the Gazlo so far has had a pretty rough time with the grab bombs. We'll see if he's able to start landing them here as the game continues to develop. Meanwhile, the Tide of Flint Tropics, they are going to get this siege going. 50% of the time, he gets it 100% of the time. Okay, is that? I'm assuming that's in reference to the grab bombs coming out of the Gazlo. But the Gazlo is going to get, and I mean, as long as Gazlo can land one good grab bomb, that's all he needs. With the APOC coming out of the Diablo and the Cassia's damage, they will be able to mop the floor if this Gazlo is able to land a grab bomb. But he is got to be a little careful, running away as fast as he can. Unfortunately, he rotates right next to the Orphe. The APOC goes down, grab bomb on top of it, and that is a big boom going down. If Gazlo can stay alive, the team is coming in to help. A lot of damage went down, but Brightwing and Gazlo both go down. Soundberry coming out of the Lucio. Everybody's got to run. And Lucio being able to give that little bit of a shield to the rest of his team, and that is 2 more kills on the side of Flint Tropics. And now this is unfortunate for Wood League. They're getting themselves into a much bigger hole where they're going to have to be very careful because they don't want to fall too far behind for this next objective that will be coming online. What's the Nova doing in damage? Yeah, the Nova's leading the damage with 15,000. There's just not a lot of damage, really not a lot of damage for both teams. I guess there hasn't been a ton of fighting, 6-3 in kills. But yeah, 15,000 coming out of the Nova and then 13 on the Gazlo. Only 5,000 damage coming out of the Cassia there. So Cassia having a little bit of a tough time getting involved in a lot of these fights. Once the grab bomb does land, then we'll be able to get a lot more coming out of that team. But we do see, 16s aren't quite online yet. All ultimates except APOC are online. I do not believe they're going to contest this with the Malthael rolled down. Oh, Diablo does go in. He says, I got the Lunara. Grab bomb going down. It lands onto just 2 members there. The Lunara able to return a lot of damage with the Orphe. Last right's going down on the Diablo. Diablo is dead. Cassia was able to land the Valkyrie on the Lunara, but Lunara's like, thank you. That puts me right next to Gazlo. I'll do a leaping strike, and Gazlo is starting to melt here in this game. Ooh, a nice stun being landed by the Murden onto the Brightwing. Brightwing barely able to get herself away. That is a death right around an objective. This top lane is pushing very hard, and this camp is going to be pretty much completely uncontested by the side of Wood League Express again. And this will be a Frozen Punisher being picked up in the bot lane here. They are electing to get this fort first. I like the call. Get what you can and then go for the objective. They're not worried about anything that Wood League Express, if they come in for the fight, they're down a talent tier, so they're not really worried about that. Oh, no. And the Diablo now, first disconnect for Galahad here. He was doing such a good job. He's back, but we may start seeing a little bit of connection issues coming out again for the side of Wood League Express. Flint Tropics, they are in control. They're now painting this entire map blue. They have got 22 stacks here, finishing up the rest of this objective. Nova doing all she can in the top lane to get some of this soak, try to get their team on a 16 talent tier. I mean, it's not the end. They can get a good defense as long as it's Galahad, not the bot on Diablo. Since Punisher will be pushing the bot lane, and the side that Flint is not pushing with it, the Gazlo will be able to wave clear a lot of this out himself as long as the rest of the team can start beating up this Frozen Punisher. And they've got this minion camp pushing in the top lane. So if they can delay and provide a really good defense here, they will have the opportunity. We'll see what they're able to do. One last hurrah coming out from Wood League Express here in the bot lane. Jumping over onto the clone there from the Nova. They're putting some serious down on the damage onto the Frozen Punisher, but he will turn off that keep. It's down to about half health, so he will get another bounce. They've got to spread out. They don't want to get multiple bounces. Galahad's got to take the big bounce here. Takes it. The Murden is there. The Malthael is there as well to be able to provide a lot of that follow-up, but Diablo able to tank through it. The keep is about to fall. Grab bomb going down. Lands onto two members. Did catch the Orphea, and that Sound Barrier does go off. Valkyrie lands onto the Malthael. Malthael able to get himself away. And so, again, a pretty good defense coming out of Wood League Express. That's probably the best situation that you could hope for with these minions crashing in the mid lane and the Frozen Punisher in the bot lane. So, you know, the grab bomb was able to land on two targets there. Unfortunately, the follow-up damage just isn't quite there. The Nova isn't getting enough of the value on the way they wanted to play her. They wanted to play her as that kind of stealthy ganker, picking off this Malthael, and Malthael was just too smart for it for most of the time. I think they got one off. And so, you know, Nova's not able to provide a lot of that burst damage in these team fights, so they're really relying on the APOC grab bomb combo coming out. But here's a good fight for them. They know Malthael's in the top. They have a 5v4 situation. If there's ever a time for Wood League to pick a fight, now is it. They do go take the camp. Flint Tropics. I'm starting to combine the two teams' names now. Flint Tropics backing off there. And Malthael now is down here. He rotated down. Ultimates are online for everybody except Lucio at the moment. So Sound Barrier is still a little bit off. Orphea going to be able to provide some of this poke damage that is missing from the side of the Wood League Express. And Malthael looks like he's like, okay, peace. We're not going to be doing anything here. I'm just going to rotate out and go ahead and start collecting some good stuff in the top lane. Well, we do see 19s on 17s for both teams. Again, for the side of Wood League, they've got to find a way to make a play in these next 30 or so seconds. Like, they've got to find something. They cannot give up another objective, and they can't let the other team get 20s before that objective. So this might be the place to do it. They're coming down. Lunara is scouting out the rotation. This camp could be for all the marbles. The camp is going to get picked up here. I mean, the experience gap is closing. 20s will be online soon for the side of Flint Tropics. They're smartly backing off, picking up their own camp. Flint or Wood League Express, they got to find a fight. Like, they have to find something before 20s come online. So they got to stay as 5. Gazlo going down, trying to get some soak here. But right now he should be with the 5-man. They should be looking to pick this. Like, right now, 20s just came online. Now they can't pick it. Now they got to defend for a level and a half. I don't know if that's going to be enough time before this objective comes online. This objective should be coming online here in about another 15-20 seconds. Actually, it's coming online right now. So, yeah, I mean, they got to find a way to pick it around being downtown here, because if they give up this objective, again, it's not over. You can make a defense of a solo keep this late in the game, but it'll be all 3 keeps gone, and that'll be really, really rough to come back from here. So we'll see if Wood League, I mean, they did it last game. They were down 20s and they found a way to get a kill. So we'll see if they can do it again on 20s for this game. We do see them rotating in. Nova going to that bot lane, maybe going to try and pick up the soak. Maybe they're just going to say, you know what, we'll give up our last keep for defense and we'll try and get the ace, the full wipe, but they're not. They are rotating up. Gazlo's coming in, launching the bombs over the wall, but it's already 15. If they're going to pick a fight, they got to pick it soon. Otherwise, they'll be able to just claim the rest of the stuff. Diablo going in, does find the Lunara, pops it back into the team. Triple tap does go down. Oh, Sound Barrier played just at the right time. Lunara did go away, but Last Rites lands onto the Diablo. Lucio is going to go. No, he's not going to go down. That Eternal Feast is just continuing to nom, and that will be Cassia trading her life away. Brightwing trying to blink herself to a safe spot, but all the damage is pretty much down. Nova is the only remaining member. Gazlo dying as well. Diablo is back. The stun is landed. I mean, yeah. You thought it was there. The Lunara was taking so much damage, but the Sound Barrier came in and just was able to save her long enough. She did eventually go down, but the delay was huge. Arcane Punisher picked up. Nova was able to get the camp as a consolation prize, but with 30 seconds left on 2 members, I mean, Lunara's not alive, so they don't have the best core burn yet. Orpheus got a little bit, Malthael's got a little bit. So maybe if they're able to burn this guy, this Punisher down a bit, they're going to be able to do a core defense, but they're down all 3 keeps, so it's going to be rough. They just cannot die in this situation. They got to pull it to the core, make sure that they are able to burn this thing down. They don't want to pick a fight until their members are all online. Cassia is coming in now, so if they can get a pick with the Valkyrie, Diablo going in does land the pop. Last Rites popped very early there, not going to do any damage at all. So this is it. Malthael does not have his ultimate. You have 5. The Punisher is here. Grab Bomb going to be huge. 4-man Grab Bomb coming out there. The Eternal Feast is going down. Diablo does eventually go down. They just don't have any follow-up damage. Oh, that was it. Gazlo landed a fantastic Grab Bomb. You saw the play being made, but just the follow-up damage wasn't there. The Ball of Lightning, the Cassie going with the Valkyrie instead of the bouncing balls. And yeah, I mean, they're going to try with the triple tap. Lucio popping the sound barrier there. Core's down to 30%, 29. Yeah, the Lunara is here, so as long as they all hit core, this should be GG game number 2 going over to Flint Tropics as well. And that will be the 2-0 victory. Man, like, we waited that whole game for that Gazlo ultimate, and he delivered. He delivered in the late game. He landed that 4-man Grab Bomb, and it looked so great. But they just didn't have the follow-up damage. Cassie going with the Valkyrie didn't have the balls to bounce around on top of members in the middle of that damage. Nova not being able to provide a lot of AoE pressure, going with the triple tap instead of just the AoE ultimate right on top of the Grab Bomb. They didn't fully commit to the Grab Bomb play. So, it's fine if they were able to do what their original strategy was just to get picks. They just weren't able to find them. So the team fight suffered just a little bit, but good games all around. Wood League was definitely in it for both games. Looking at the stats here real quick, Orphea being able to put down a significant amount of damage. This was a much lower damage game than the last one. The game went almost 20 minutes, but these teams just didn't fight as much as they did in that game 1. So a lot of the damage just wasn't able to be put out from both teams. Looking at some of these talents, yeah, I mean, the Eternal Feast was pretty good coming out of the Orphea there. Was able to get some value, even though they really didn't have any lockdown on top of the Eternal Feast. She pretty much used it as just like a counter Grab Bomb. She put it down on top of whatever was Grab Bombed and used it, but pretty standard build coming out of the Orphea there. The Nova, I was excited to see the Nova play. You could have wondered what would have happened. I understand why she went triple tap. She was definitely going for that gank Nova rather than the team fight Nova. But, with the Grav Bomb and the APOC being able to land that just massive AoE damage with the other ultimate pickup would have definitely helped with that combo. But, yeah, that's everything as far as this match goes. Let me see. Yeah, let me see if I can get an interview real quick with our victors, Flint Tropics, who did not play in week 1. So let me get down to another lobby. We are going to get an interview here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just get into the right lobby. We'll get him going here. Still waiting on this interview. Once he hops in, I will. Oh, there he is. Hello. You've got your mic muted in Discord. Oh, and there he goes. That's the end of the interview. No, he'll be back. He's fixing up a couple of things. Let me check chat, see if there's anything insane going on. Oh, there he is.
There, how's that?
That is much better. We can actually hear you now. Congratulations. Okay, this is, let me see if I say it right. Aesop?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yep.
How do you say it so I don't
Well,
butcher?
Aesop is our captain. This is California Rascals, CA Rascals car.
Oh, you're just on Aesop's.
Yeah. Sorry,
I
yeah.
okay. So this is CA Rascals, California Rascals on Aesop's Discord for some reason. Uh,
Yes. We
Alrighty.
we don't have voice comms very well here today.
Yeah. Is everybody? Oh no, you guys weren't the one with the connection issues. It was Woodley that was having the
No.
connection issues. Um,
Yes.
so congratulations, 2-0 victory. And this was your, I believe, your guys' first match, right?
Yes, these are our first NGS matches.
Awesome. Are you guys a
Ever.
brand new team to the NGS?
Brand new team.
Well, hey, there you go. Way to start off your season, brand new to NGS, coming out with a 2-0 domination victory. Gotta love that.
Thank you.
So, tell me a little bit about your brand new team. Haven't done any NGS before. So, what was your guys' kind of game plan strategy? You don't have to give away your secrets, but coming into this first series, debut of Flint Tropics here. How did you guys approach that game one on Volskaya?
So we just wanted to be safe, like I'm sure a lot of teams are, and it's a little different from Storm League and ARAM where you just want to fight all the time.
Mhm.
So we just tried to stay back and pick the fights when we thought we could go in.
Yeah, and I mean, it seemed to work out. I'm trying to remember. You were in the first game, Sonia.
Yes, Sonia.
Okay,
Yep.
the Sonya player. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it looked like you guys with the Mephisto, Muradin, and then having the I can't remember the rest. You had the Sonya with the leap for sure, but
Yep.
having a lot of that, like we can poke, but then we can also kind of half commit, and then when we need
Yeah.
to, then Sonya's like, all right, now we're committing. I'm jumping in, and then we go, kind of deal. Um, where when you saw the Chromie, we were having a little bit of a debate. Was Lucio he went sound barrier in game two as well? Was it always the sound barrier, or was he holding on to the ultimate just in case Chromie decided to go for the temporal loop?
I think it's pretty much always sound barrier for the healing so that we can do the big engage. But if they had more CC, then it probably would have been the high five, I think,
Yeah,
so that we can get out of all the CCs and keep moving around.
yeah. So early game, maybe a little bit of nerves coming out. It seemed like you guys were having a little rough go at the early game. That first objective, it looked like you almost had it, and then you didn't have it, and ended up going over to Wood League. But then the second objective, it all turned around. You guys had just a nice like 2 minute series where everything was going on over that second objective. So talk a little bit about the calls made around that second objective and how you guys got yourselves in the driver's seat.
Yeah, so we were just following Teabag when he would jump in as Muradin, and we'd follow him in. And then we tried to get a lot of items so we could drop them all at once and just have a huge amount of damage at one shot. Really, the in all those fights, it seemed like Diva was the biggest problem because she would just sit there and fire away at all of us, especially me as Sonya. I mean, I died 2 or 3 times just from her pounding on me with all the missiles.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me, did you tell your teammates my bad when you did that Sonya leap at level 20 and Diva parked her bomb and you trapped like three of your members inside the cages with you and you're like, oh, guys, I think this is it for us.
Yeah, I didn't know I could turn it off, so I just stood in it, and so did all of us.
I was like, oh no, because you could see the play developing. Like you jumped in and it was like, yes, he's got the engage, but it's like, oh no, he's got three members and Diva's bomb is like right there. But
Yeah, they need to do more damage. They need to do more damage next time so that we kill her before that happens.
yeah, but ultimately it worked out. They're like, oh, my bad, let's redo that one. And then from then on, the Sonya engages were just on point time and time again, landing onto the Nazebo. I mean, Nazebo had a really tough time staying alive in that late game, which most of that was contributed to the Sonya engages there. So hats off to that. So got that game one win out of the way. Game two comes around. You guys, I believe, to pick map. They elected
Yep.
to go for first pick. Did you expect a possible Nova coming out?
Well, I mean, her name is Novabot, or his name is Novabot, so and the picture is Novabot too. So probably the main thing was banning Murky because they, macroed very well with Murky, so we didn't want to deal with that at
Yeah,
all.
absolutely.
So that was the main plan. And then we also banned the Malfurion because on this map it's with the root and the the heal and damage. It would have been probably a big problem for us.
Yeah, but you're able. I mean, able to work around it. I mean, you can never expect a Nova coming out, but when it does, you're just like, oh shoot. And it seemed like
Yeah.
the Nova's main
Yep.
goal was to target you, trying to find you
Yep.
in all of these
Yep.
different situations. How were you always aware, and how did you play your lane a little bit differently, knowing that there's a possibility that Nova was coming for you?
Yeah, so I stayed back by the, I tried to stall out the lane and stay as back towards the gate as I could. And then the one time that she almost got me on the camp, Lucio made it there in time to heal me a little bit. But then when I left to Hearth back, I went to watch the team fight and then didn't realize Diablo ulted and I died to that. So that kind of sucked.
That was unfortunate. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we kept track of where she was as much as we could on the whole time because if you're not paying attention, yeah, that's going to be a real problem.
Yeah. But I mean, ultimately, you guys played pretty well around it. Just able to slowly chip away. I don't think you guys lost an objective, getting all four Punishers there. Able to slowly
Oh
chip
yeah.
away at your opponents there, and then coming down to the last. Gazla finally was able to. He got a four-man grab bomb right under the core, but unfortunately, the follow-up damage wasn't there. You guys had a nice disengage, and then was the call just like, hey, you know what? They've burnt everything. Let's just re-engage and end core here. Or
Yep.
okay,
Yep. Yeah, we just went for core, and then as Melthiel, I picked the respawn at 20, so I could just take as much damage as possible, even though Teabag died. So then I was just taking all the damage, and then I knew I could respawn, but we ended it just in time. So Lucio had another ult right there at the end that got us that last 20%, which worked out for us.
perfect, perfect. Yeah. So I mean that's really all the questions I had coming out as far as the band picture. Like I said, I didn't really know a lot about these two teams. I didn't recognize a lot of the names coming out. So, and it makes sense now why this is your first season in NGS. So, yeah,
Yep.
congratulations on that. Tell me real quick, who do you think your team's MVP was for this series tonight?
Probably Aesop or Lucio. Blood Beast helped, the Lucio saved us quite a bit. So we were always ready to engage, knowing we had the health backup coming. But the team gave 100%, and there's no I in team, so we played well as a group.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you kind of always got to nod the healer when your team is able to put out a performance like you guys did. It's always like, man,
That's
we
right.
did so good, but yeah, our healer, poor guy, was stressed the entire game.
Yeah, I mean he did 200,000 heal in the first
Yeah,
game, so
in
that's
game
a lot.
one, that was insane. That game went so late, and the damage that was
I
being
know.
put out, it was nuts. But real quick, last thing, floor is yours. I'm gonna open it up for you. Any shout outs you'd like to give to Twitch chat or to the fans in the chat? Floor is yours.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see the chat, but thanks for streaming us tonight. That was awesome. We watch a lot of the hot streams, so we appreciate you streaming and commentating on the game and the interview. Thank you for that. And
Absolutely.
we're just glad we won. It's too bad that one player kept disconnecting. That kind of sucks for the game. So hopefully they can get that fixed up. And then yeah, just thanks for casting. That's really cool that you're doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the good news for both you guys, I guess, is being in Division E East, it's a double round robin kind of deal. So these two teams will be duking it out again here in a couple of weeks, and we're excited to see that second bout come down, in
Yeah, that'll be
probably
fun.
about a month's time.
Yep, we're looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, this has been CA Rascals interviewing for Aesop here. Congratulations again on your 2-0 victory for Flint Tropics. Have a fantastic night. Thank you for the interview, and GG's.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Alrighty, take care. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was CA Rascals. That was Flint Tropics coming away with a 2-0 victory. Congratulations to them. That match was super fun. A lot of characters that I just are champion heroes, calling it out, got called out earlier for saying champions, heroes that I typically don't get to cast a lot. So that was a lot of fun. It was fun seeing the Nova. It was fun seeing the Nazebo get so many stacks. He just unfortunately they were dealing with a little bit of connection issues. So if you enjoyed the stream, be sure to drop a follow. I cast a lot of HOTS. I'm casting pretty much all week this week, which is fantastic. I haven't had a chance to cast like this in a while. So let me let you guys know what's coming up on my schedule. So last night I had a Division A game. Tonight we went all the way to Division E. I believe tomorrow night we're jumping over to Division D. Let me just double check. Why is my there we go. Jumping over to the calendar real quick, my calendar, to see what's going on. Tomorrow night was the night that I had a big question mark on. I may not have, if the game got picked up. It's not still picked up, so I may pick it up. It'll be tomorrow night at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. It'll be a Division D match between Clouded Minds and Lowered Expectations. So that one is still tentative, but probably going to be picked up. And then on Thursday, I have a match set up at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. So those of you on the East Coast, sorry, you're going to be in bed already. But for those of us here on the West Coast, we'll be able to enjoy Division D matchup between Metapix and Private Potato. And then that's where I've stopped signing up. I may get one more in over the weekend here, but that'll be it for me for the rest of this week, and then we'll go from there. But like I said, if you enjoy it, drop a follow. I have notifications on, so when I cast, you will get that notification and know that, hey, we are going to do another HOTS series. But for tonight, that is all I have. Let me see if anybody is still going real quick so we can get you guys over to a possible raid. It looks like Tetcher might still be going here. Let me see if he's still casting. Pull it up real quick. Yeah, he's got a matchup. He's got a double feature going on, so maybe we'll go over and raid him. We've got a match between Bull Moose Party and Mosley and the Arconauts, which I believe is that Division D? I don't know, but he's still streaming over there. He's got quite a lot of viewers going on, so this is gonna be a fun one. Looks like there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat. So let's raid Tetcher. Let me get this started for you guys. But as far as tonight and this series goes, that's a wrap for me. Again, this has been IceX. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Enjoy the Nexus. Hopefully, I'll see you in some Storm League matches. And if not, I'll catch you on the next series. Take care.